The road out of Harare stretched like a ribbon of dust and shimmering heat. Pavel watched the city shrink behind them as the land cruiser rumbled toward the southeast, where the land grew wilder, the trees older, and the secrets of the Rozvi kingdom slept beneath stone and soil. The name itself carried weight. Place of elephants. But to those who understood the old histories, it meant something deeper, something half-whispered and half-forbidden. A sanctuary. A graveyard. A kingdom carved into cliffs and guarded by spirits of warriors long dead. Tanya drove with steady hands, her eyes hidden behind dark sunglasses. Sekuru Mwandionga sat in the back seat, his scrolls resting on his lap like delicate eggs. Pavel sat beside him, the clay fragment and the wooden marker tucked carefully in his backpack. None of them had slept well. The Danubian Circle was close. Too close. Even at dawn, Pavel had seen shadows moving in alleyways near the safe house, figures that vanished when he blinked. There was no turning back now. Only forward. After hours of silence broken only by the engine, Tanya finally spoke. "We will reach Gonarezhou by mid-afternoon," she said. "From there we go off-road. The Valley of Bones isn't marked on any map. Rangers avoid that region." Pavel nodded, though a knot tightened in his stomach. "Because of superstition?" "Because of disappearances," she corrected. Sekuru Mwandionga cleared his throat. "Not disappearances. Trials." Pavel glanced at him. "Trials?" "Yes. The Rozvi kings buried their dead with rituals that tested courage, loyalty, and truth. Anyone who entered the sacred valley without rightful purpose was overcome by illusions." Pavel swallowed. "Illusions?" Sekuru nodded. "Visions so real they make you doubt your own heartbeat." Pavel turned to the window. "I'm starting to think my ancestor didn't leave voluntarily." Tanya's lips tightened. "No one connected to the map left voluntarily." The old man leaned forward, voice low. "As you journey deeper, the land will remember you. Whether that is blessing or curse, depends." They fell quiet again, but their silence was no longer peaceful. It pulsed with the weight of what awaited them. By late afternoon, the sun hung low and red, shimmering against the horizon like molten copper. They reached the final ranger outpost, an aging fence, a wooden hut, a bored-looking ranger chewing on sugarcane. He glanced at the cruiser. His eyes paused on Sekuru Mwandionga, then froze on Pavel. "You're the foreigners?" he asked suspiciously. Tanya nodded. "We're doing heritage field work." The ranger smirked. "Everyone who disappears says that." Sekuru leaned forward and muttered something in Shona too quietly for Pavel to hear. Whatever it was, it made the ranger's expression change instantly, serious, respectful, even fearful. He opened the barrier without further questions. "Proceed if you must," he warned. "But turn back before night. The valley watches strangers." Tanya drove through. Pavel exhaled slowly. "What did you say to him?" "A name," Sekuru replied. "What name?" "Olmu." The word dropped into the air like a stone. "The ranger knows the old guardians," Sekuru continued. "He knows they walk where the dead once lay." Pavel wasn't sure if that made him feel safer or more exposed. The land changed quickly. Grass grew taller. Red dust coated the rocks. Baobab trees stood thick and ancient, their swollen trunks like silent giants keeping watch. Elephants moved in the distance, their silhouettes enormous and slow, stirring up clouds of dust as they walked to watering holes. The deeper they went, the more Pavel felt something. Like a hum, beneath the earth. A vibration. A presence. "Do you feel that?" he whispered. Tanya nodded without looking away from the path. "You're sensing the first trial." Sekuru Mwandionga smiled faintly. "The valley knows you approach." Pavel tried to ignore the chill running through him. The cruiser sputtered, coughed, jerked, and died. Dust settled around them as the engine went silent. Tanya hit the wheel. "No, no, no, this can't be happening." Pavel leaned forward. "What's wrong?" "Fuel line's fine. Engine's fine. There's no reason it should stall." Her voice dropped. "Unless something is interfering." Sekuru Mwandionga stepped out of the car without fear. "The first trial has begun." The wind shifted. Whispers drifted through the trees, soft at first, then clearer. "Pavel. Pavel." He froze. "That sounded like your father?" Tanya finished for him. His heart thudded. "Yes." Sekuru's expression turned grave. "The trial of echoes uses memory, regret, love. Whatever binds you." The whispers grew louder. "Stranka jedna, posledni prani, sinu?" Pavel's eyes widened. "That's check." "Do not listen," the old man warned. The valley tests your resolve. If you follow the voice, you will not return. Pavel closed his eyes, but the whisper turned into a shout. Pavel. He flinched. That sounded real. Tanya grabbed his hand. Look at me. Don't trust anything you hear. He forced himself to breathe. Then, a figure appeared between the trees. Tall, faded, familiar. Dad. Pavel whispered. The figure raised its hand. Tanya stepped in front of him. Pavel, that is not your father. The wind blew again. The figure dissolved into dust. Pavel staggered back, trembling. Sekuru placed a hand on his shoulder. You passed. The first trial recognizes your spirit. The cruiser coughed suddenly, and the engine roared back to life. Tanya blinked. What? The valley allowed you passage, Sekuru said. Pavel rubbed his face, shaken. If that was only the first trial? Tanya tightened her grip on the wheel. We need to keep moving. They stopped at dusk near a shallow gorge. The air grew cooler. Crickets chirped. The sky turned deep purple, sprinkled with stars so bright Pavel felt he could touch them. They set up a small, cautious camp. No fire, only lanterns. Pavel sat beside Tanya, knees almost touching. You okay? She asked. I don't know, he admitted. Everything feels unreal. She nudged his shoulder gently. Welcome to Zimbabwe. He laughed softly. Felt good. Then Tanya grew serious. Why are you really doing this? You could have left back in Prague. You could have left in Harare. Why keep going? Pavel looked at his hands. I've always felt disconnected from something. Like there was a piece of my life missing. Czech history never answered that feeling. My family never answered it. So when I found the journal, he inhaled shakily. I felt like I wasn't running from something. I was running towards something. Tanya's voice softened. And now you think that something might kill you? Pavel nodded. She touched his hand gently. Then you won't face it alone. Their eyes held for a moment too long, until Sekuru cleared his throat loudly. You two can flirt after we survive the next trial. They broke apart instantly. Tanya muttered, old people gossip more than teenagers. Sekuru smiled smugly. And we remember everything. Just after midnight, a distant rumble shook the ground. Not thunder. Footsteps, many of them. Tanya grabbed her binoculars. No. What is it? Pavel whispered. She handed him the lenses. In the distance, approaching fast. Black vehicles. 6 of them. Their headlights off. Pavel's blood ran cold. The Danubian Circle, he said. Sekuru stood. Pack everything. Now. They scrambled to tear down their temporary camp. We can't outrun cars, Pavel said. No, Sekuru agreed. But we can outrun fools. He pointed toward a narrow canyon. The Valley of Bones is there. They won't follow. Not yet. Pavel didn't ask why. They ran. Branches whipped against their arms. Dust filled their lungs. The rumbling of engines drew closer, louder. A gunshot cracked the air. Pavel dove behind a boulder. Tanya yelled, Move, Pavel. Sekuru dragged him up. They reached the edge of the canyon. The drop was steep, almost vertical. Pavel stared. We'll die if we jump. No, Sekuru said calmly. You will not. How do you know? Because your ancestors survived the trials. The valley has already accepted you. Before Pavel could argue, Sekuru pushed him. Tanya jumped after. Pavel plummeted. Wind roared past his ears. The world spun. Then something invisible slowed him. Gently, like falling through water. He landed softly on sand. Tanya dropped beside him, gasping. Above them, Sekuru stepped off the edge and floated down like a leaf. The Danubian Circle vehicles screeched to the canyon's edge. Pavel saw silhouettes peering over. Then Sekuru raised his hand. A wind, unnatural, powerful, blew across the canyon. Dust rose like a storm, blocking the entrance. The circle fired shots blindly, but none reached them. Sekuru turned to Pavel and Tanya. Welcome, he whispered, to the Valley of Bones. Pavel looked around and saw ancient stone pillars rising from the gorge, carved with symbols identical to the ones on his clay fragment. His heart pounded. This is it, Tanya whispered. Yes, Sekuru said. Now your true journey begins.